It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It is IndyCar night on iRacing. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back from the week off. It is the start of a new season. Hope springs eternal, as I like to say at the start of these seasons. Even the Chicago Cubs realize that everyone's in first place on the first day of the season. So that's kind of where we are tonight. Hello again. Welcome to coverage of round one of season 3 of 2024 of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, coming to you from Legacy, Michigan International Raceway. As always, joining me in the booth is the normal cast of fellows. We have Stephen Larkamp, we have Justin Petchow, we have the infamous LGN. So, guys, before we get into it, I do want to bring up the breaking news for the channel and for kind of what our future is here. Put it right here on the screen. Boom. So, starting in 2 weeks, we're moving the top split to the Elite Racing Network for the remainder of the season. Now, all the instructions on what to do if you're a participant and what Discord to join and what channel to subscribe to and all that is in the description. So we're going to talk about that a couple times tonight just to remind you, but everything is in the description that you need to know. And then it's our hope by the time we get to season 4 of 2024, we're unveiling for you a brand spanking new channel that's going to specialize in bringing you the same quality of IndyCar entertainment that we do every week here on Raceverse. So I just want to let everyone know about that. That's starting at the Iowa race in 2 weeks. So the next 2 races, Michigan and Las Vegas, will be on Raceverse. And then from Iowa going forward, it will be on ERN, the Elite Racing Network. Any questions, feel free to hit me up in the Discord, and I'll be happy to answer those for you. So, Steven, I don't know how much you heard in the pre-race, but I think we're kind of getting a little bit into what we heard and maybe the major complaint after really the latest update is these cars don't quite feel right anymore, and that's kind of what we heard going into this one. Maybe Justin could comment on it more if he heard more about what we heard from drivers in the pre-race, but we really heard that the car kind of didn't really have the touch it did with the pavement that they're used to feeling.
Yeah, I think I recall you guys talking about that occurring at Iowa Speedway at the very least, where the grip has been reduced. that's definitely something to keep an eye on here. But knowing the IndyCar scene, these guys obviously, especially the veterans, these people know this car very well, and whenever a change comes along, they are quick to jump on it, definitely for their own benefit, of course. But I think in due time, this will that change could well be negated by advances that the teams themselves have found here. But for the first race of the season, for the first races with this new configuration that they've got here, it's going to be interesting to see how everybody reacts, because everybody reacts to changes in the same way. Everybody hates it, but some people end up loving it in the end of the day. Others don't.
Yeah, what Stevie said on that one, with a number of drivers have said, the car has, it's floaty.
Yes.
Like there's too much air coming underneath the under tray of the car. And usually you don't want that to happen, especially in a place like bumpy Michigan, as I prefer to call it.
It is.
It's bumpy as hell. It's the old surface. It's not the new one. But it doesn't matter regardless. We're still going to see some fast-paced, high-speed, side-by-side action. Probably a couple of single-file trains here and there. But with Michigan, you're going to get one hell of a damn good race.
Everybody's starting to grid up now, and on the pole, I'm looking at Brandon Trost, a longtime veteran of IndyCar competition, and it's not even close either. It's by a full tenth of a second.
Wow, look at that! So obviously that hasn't the new update has not bothered him any, and look who's right next to him.
Ito Sousa as well. So I guess we can get started here, because they're all starting to grid up. It's going to be 60 laps here tonight at Old School Michigan, the bumpy Michigan. Let's have ourselves a look.
Ready when you are.
And on the pole, as I mentioned, Brandon Trost, 32.701, a full tenth slower, is Beto Sousa's number 19 machine starting in second. Tied for that time, in fact, Mark Murphy will be starting third in the number 5 machine. He'll be alongside our old friend Clendy, Kyle Clenworth, in the number 4 slot in car number 9. And 5th and 6th at the moment, Trey Shadid will roll off 6th alongside Stephen Lee's number 21. 7th and 8th, Matthew Ponto's number 22, and Adriano Forporti's number 8, starting 8th, fittingly enough. Brian Campbell will roll off 9th in the number 10, and Bruno Romanzini will be rounding out your top 10 in the number 20. Ty Quilla will be starting 11th in the number 7 machine. He'll be alongside Rodrigo Franzoni's number 17 and 12th. Mitch David will start off 13th in car number 16. Peter Kabuski, who's won here before on our broadcast, he will be rolling off 14th in number 4. There's a lot of work for him to do for sure. Seb Alexander, the last driver to post a qualifying time, will start off 15th. And from the back, looking at this, we got some massive heavy hitters. Robert Malechka III, Adriano Pinero, Jacob Oster, starting 16th, 17th, and 18th. That is a stacked back of the grid. Watch out for them. Definitely watch out for them. Jake Johansson will be starting 19th in the number 11, alongside Matt Shimko in the 14, rounding out your top 20. 21st and 22nd will be Alan Morea's number 15 and Jacob Collins in the 18. And shotgun on the field, Masato Shimizu in the 23 car, starting 23rd. And let's have ourselves a look and see. With these guys starting towards the back here, that usually signals to me they're pretty confident, and they want to... They're both confident, and they want to test a few things out here. They want to see how this new car behaves.
Well, this is a home game for King Richard III, which is his new nickname after sweeping the Indy weekend a couple weekends back. And about the only person that we've seen put a chink in his armor in any of those big Indy races that we had in the month of May was Caleb Binsey, who I'm now calling the King Slayer for actually beating him at the ERL Indy 500. So that's about the only person that's put a chink into the massive armor there of Robert Malechka, or King Robert III, as we're calling him now.
And King Robert's got a big tournament to get to tonight, starting from 16th place. Let's see how that goes. But meanwhile, Brandon Trost, an old familiar face of the IndyCar scene, on the front row. Pace car peeling off. waiting on him, and now he's on the throttle. Green flag flies, the season begins.
And down to the apron.
Down on the apron, if you can get away with that. Of course, you don't get penalized down there. It's a 1X, but at the same time, do you really want to be down there? But Trost did, and he is away cleanly into 1 and 2.
And the new paint job on Mark Murphy's car. I love it.
Very, very nice. That IOR livery looking very spiffy on the number 5. He's up to second place right now. Beto Sousa now having to hold off Kyle Clemworth as they make their way off of 4. Trost will lead the first lap. And once again, down onto the apron he goes.
No US 500 start. We almost kind of anticipated it here, since there's some stuff going on over in the tin top world that is related to a certain thing that affected IndyCar racing from 1996 through 2007. So it's kind of poetic that we're starting the season here at Legacy, Michigan.
Indeed it is, and thankfully we haven't had a similar catastrophe of a start like the US 500
look
in 1996. Is
3 wide.
3 wide action towards the back here, but I'm looking at the... Yeah, Clemworth now up to third, but look at this fight on. Stephen Lee on the outside of Beto Sousa. This is for 4th, as everyone's spreading out over this massive racing surface here, this bumpy surface, but you still got a lot of room to work with. And look at Trey Shadid now looking to the inside on the 19 machine.
Side by side as they go through 3 and 4, almost up in the wall. A couple of cars, they had to back out of it, excuse me there, as they hit the dirty air. But look at Matthew Ponto. He's taking advantage of that situation as he goes by. Beto Sousa struggling as they go up into turn 1. He's still caught in that dirty air behind Bruno Romazzini there. But Brian Campbell is up on the inside trying to get by. He's trying to get by Beto Sousa. Sousa gets the run on the high side as they head off into 3. Almost Brazilian clears himself there as they go off into 3. He washes up just a little bit of understeer. But who is that? Who's that on the outside there? That is Peter Kubulski as they come off of turn 4. He's using that high line to his advantage through the corners, but when he gets up on the straightaways, he hits that brick wall of air.
All right,
Indeed he does. Kubulski got no help on that line there.
So let's look at pop quiz, guys. Matthew Ponto, that pink car. Whose car is that in IndyCar history?
Let's see. I'm seeing. As I'm looking at
that was
in
bit
Romazzini.
a bit of a Brazilian clear, which actually is the country of that driver of that car back when it raced back in the 80s.
That would be Emerson Fittipaldi.
That would be his first car right there. His very first IndyCar was a pink IndyCar.
When he quote unquote unretired from racing to come and have some fun in IndyCar, and he turned it into a career and
2 Indy 500 wins.
Yep.
And creator of one of the most hilariously iconic lines in the history of IndyCar racing. Some phrase called King Hero.
I thought it was, no, I don't want the milk.
Yeah, that one was a controversial one more than anything else.
Now, I argue.
Got on there, turn to the
Cars spinning in the back there, trying to see who that was.
Mitch David, and we are caution.
Yeah, Mitch David around the number 16 machine was running 15th at the time, and looks like just lost it on his own on the bumps on the low line.
He caught that seam.
Oh, and Kubulski was right above it and right in front of Lord or King Robert.
Yeah, and very close call there. And so far, a slow start for Malechka, Oster, Seb Alexander and company. They are just sitting towards the back there, but like that's the kind of thing we expect from them in a lot of ways, is especially in a situation like this. I'm going to be keen to see what sort of tricks they can pull out here.
Essentially what they're doing is it's a glorified test session for now because they're picking up valuable data.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what they're doing here, because they're still trying to get used to the dynamics of the changes they've made to the new car. So it is a testing session. It may be a testing session with a strength of field of, what was it, about 4,600 by the time when we logged in here?
It was
78.
46.78.
Yeah, a test session with a high strength of field, but a test session nonetheless for these guys.
It is a team scrimmage. That's what it is.
An A-team scrimmage with our equivalent of an NFL lineup.
But not only is this a quote-unquote test session, we're also going to have some other test sessions coming up probably before the end of the year as well, with a certain hybrid system coming in.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that, especially if it means I think that we're going to get some type of push to pass, not using those exact words, but some type of horsepower assist, pass assist, or something on the ovals, something we haven't seen since 2011.
Yeah, and of course the IndyCar series in real life just completed a testing session at the Milwaukee Mile with the new hybrid power plants, and they're expecting to be racing in the middle in the coming weeks actually. So it's going to be quite the game change.
Sorry, keep talking. I just noticed that Jacob Oster and King Robert have pitted on this time around, and we know how these two guys like to stretch that fuel mileage. Now, can they get 50 laps out of this tank?
Yeah, that's a big question mark. On green flag running on number one engine map, they tend to get about 38 laps thereabouts. Of course, a lot more when you're lifting and coasting and just running in the draft of another car trying to save fuel, and even more so if you're playing around with the fuel map settings. But I would think that's a bit of a stretch here, unless they're really looking to pull an Alexander Rossi on us. But that's another factor. Another factor you got to remember is the cautions.
Well, of course, this is a long-time home of IndyCar. USAC came here back in the day. Didn't have any 500-milers. What they typically did is had double-headers, 100-milers, 200-milers. Back in the 70s, we didn't get our first 500-mile race until the early 80s here at Michigan for the IndyCars, and then it became part of it. Replaced Ontario as part of the Triple Crown. But Tom Sneva holds a USAC track record. And he said, "Hey, why do we mention Tom Sneva?" Because the speed's really not that too far off what these guys are actually qualifying in this race. Tom set a speed of 211.392 in 1978. Again, that's 211. That's 11 miles per hour faster than what he did earlier that season at Indianapolis. So I'll just tell you how fast they were going back in the day here in the IndyCars. They were absolutely flying around this place. This also is the home of the first 220 mile per hour lap. That, of course, was set by Rick Mears. Paul Tracy has the kart track record set in 2000 with a speed of 234.949. Thomas Scheckter holds the IRL track record set in 2003 with a speed of 222.458. Your all-time race winners here, well, two of the all-time best. Lone Star JR with 4 wins here, one of which was a 500-miler in 1986. One of my kind of all-time favorite kart races for some reason. It's really not notable for much anything, but just a high attrition. But he won that race. And Gordon Johncock won 4 races here and won one 500-miler in 1982 to go back to get 2 jewels of the Triple Crown. And he almost won Pocono, but he actually had an engine issue, and that caused him to lose a lead late in that race. And he could be the second ever Triple Crown winner in IndyCar history if it wasn't for that. Now we're back to green, and Brandon Trost right back to the apron.
Trost goes right on the money there, and Mark Murphy was actually caught sleeping. Stephen Lee now moves up into second place around the outside. That was a massive jump right in for Trost, and it caught everybody else napping. Murphy down on the low line trying to catch back up to Lee, but I'm looking at Kyle Clemworth behind him. Looking down on the low side into 3 and 4. Clendy got the clean air working for him at the moment and trying to catch up to Stephen Lee now. They have done so, but once again, it's Brandon Trost down on the apron where he likes, working lap number 12, 3 wide back there for second.
Still side by side, Kyle Clenworth and Mark Murphy.
Clenworth,
as he gets on almost gets on the low groove there. He almost hit that.
Was great. He shot out of the middle like he was a cork in a bottle.
Yeah, he was. What a launch from Murphy. Clenworth, the biggest loser in that situation, as I'm looking behind him. That's Adriano Forporti in the number 8, trying to sneak his way into this affair.
The mailman is coming.
Clemworth on the apron, Murphy on the apron as they head back into one again. Following the draft of Brandon Trost, it was seen Trost has opened up about a 9/10 of a second lead at the line there. Amazing for an IndyCar race.
That's unheard of for an IndyCar race here.
Unbelievable. These guys, I know they're fighting each other hard, but you would think that they would be catching right back up to the tail of that 13 machine. They have not done so.
Bruno Romanzini to the inside of Trey Shadid as they come through 3 and 4. Trey Shadid getting caught up in all kinds of dirty air. Not what he wants. He's trying to find the clean air as best he can. But the Emerson Fittipaldi scheme of Matthew Ponto comes right back up in front of Trey Shadid as they go up into 1 and 2. Everybody scattering around looking for that clean air. And
Romanzini clipped the apron. Oh, and he slid right up in front of Campbell.
Amazingly, he saved it, though, did Bruno Romanzini. That could have been a rough incident there, but looking behind, the 10 of Brian Campbell sees that moment, trying to take advantage. Not quite there yet. This is a fight right now for 8th.
Brian Campbell trying to find his way around Bruno Romanzini. He goes to the high side with that clean air, but he's trying to keep it off the wall. He has to back out just a tiny bit, because that wall will come out and hit you when you least expect it. That's even been the case in the stock car stuff as well.
Reach out and grab you.
If you get too close to that wall, it'll literally, as you said, reach out and grab you. So
yes,
he's doing the best he can. But here, look at this. Here comes Tyquilla with a huge run, getting to the inside of Brian Campbell as they come past the start-finish line here. Campbell just trying to find out, where can I get the best clean air as I can, while still trying to hang with these guys up in front of me.
Exactly. It's the classic game of find the clean air, and that is hard to come by when people are going 3 wide on a regular basis here. As I'm looking back up towards the front again, Murphy now getting passed by both Kyle Clemworth and Adriano Fraporti. And all the while, looking at them as they come across the line there, they're actually catching Brandon Trost. It's down to just under 7/10 of a second.
Yep.
It's not by much at the moment, but they are catching that 13.
Now, down to, by my ticker, about 5/10, so.
Yeah.
Stephen Lee getting a little loose there off of corner 2.
So did Brian Campbell. They are literally trying to figure out where the best spot is, but if you stay on that high line too long, you're going to hit that wall eventually, because you're going to burn up those right side tires, specifically the right front. And you don't want that here at Michigan.
No, you do not. And again, looking back towards Matthew Ponto, fighting out with Bruno Romanzini right now. Romanzini trying to work on the high line, trying to get down low. Not quite enough to get a run just yet. And very close stuff in the back as well.
On the inside for the lead, Clindy.
Kyle Clemworth has caught Brandon Trost. There's the move we were looking for. Trost coming back on the low line, though. He will still lead the lap there, but this is not a runaway right now for Brandon Trost. Kyle Clemworth is dragging Adriano Fraporti, Mark Murphy, and Stephen Lee up into this fight.
We can't report one DNF. That is Mitch David.
Very unfortunate there for Mitch David. Just a small error leading to something far worse.
He didn't seem to have any damage. He just kind of spun on his own. I don't know if he just maybe he just lost the handle of the car, or maybe he had some damage earlier and maybe he smacked the wall we didn't see that led to the instability of the car, and he just goes ahead and parks it. But yeah, I hate to see him out. He's been appearing in the top split for much of the last season, so I hate to see him out. Hope to see him back next week at Vegas. Trost and Clindy are your leaders. Little Birdie tells me these are not the most friendly people in the community to each other, so this is definitely a high-stakes battle at the front. Clindy to the inside in 3, back to the lead.
Yeah, and I know for a while Trost has had a reputation for, shall I say, colorful driving style.
I will say it again. I like the guy, but I just know that he has a reputation. Yeah. But I like the guy. I have no problem with him. But he is rocking the number 13. Anytime you can rock the 13 and drive confidence, that says, you know what? I just throw, at least it's not a green car, green 13. He just throwing all luck into the air right there.
Or just tell that to Pastor Maldonado, because he drove number 13 in Formula One, and he had a pretty spectacular racing career in more ways than one, as Clemworth, once again on the low line, got a massive run there through 3 and 4. He is leading laps here at Michigan, the first driver to do so other than Brandon Trost. And look at Adriano Fraporti now getting himself into the mix as well.
Yeah, but the battle between Kyle Glenworth and Brandon Trost, I'm just going to say it's almost reminiscent of the Hanford device that CART ran from 98 through 2001 here. Just mixing left and right.
Yeah, like this.
Sorry. Oh, I have information about the Mitch David in lap 18. He exited turn 2 and hit the wall at the end for the
Okay, so it's just a bad day off of turn 2 for Mitch David.
Yeah, that would explain a lot. Very unfortunate there for Mitch David, and again, one of those small errors that you simply cannot get away with here at Michigan in the Irish Hills. As Glenworth looks like he's going to get the run again, and as you said, Justin, it is reminiscent of the passes you saw in CART with the Hanford device. Just a massive hole of air, and the car just gets a great run off the corner. You will go flying past the guy by you. It's not quite as fast as the cars when they ran the Hanford device. They were touching about 250 miles an hour.
I see what's happening. Ooh. Sorry, I'm just watching the in-car for Fraporti here, watching the man with the neon gloves, the postman trying to deliver. He is sitting here in third, and he is, I don't know how much fuel saving the top two are doing, but he is definitely fuel saving. He had an opportunity to put a pass on Clindy on the front straight, and he rolled out of it.
I would say not a bad idea at this juncture, but right now we're actually in the pit stop window.
We are.
Yeah, so like if someone wants to undercut them, I don't think they would want to at this point, because like what's really helping these guys is the draft of the cars around them. So they're going to be stretching it out for a little bit here, and when the tires really do start to fade on them, that's when they would expect to come onto pit road, I would think. Working lap 25, so anytime between now and around lap 40 to 45, I would expect to see these guys come in.
Okay, driver experts, we got a question in chat from Jay Brandt. Wants to know what's new with the IR18. We're talking about the new car, and specifically we're talking about the latest iRacing update that has impacted this car and has changed the feeling in a number of ways. One of which we've heard allegedly is also the force feedback. But another is in terms of the how the car feels on the tarmac. It feels like it's kind of floating. It's lost touch with the ground. That's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, there's a little bit of grip loss there, and I've yet to trial it out myself. I'll be doing that after the show tonight, but that is something I guess it's to counter something we've seen, which is like insane pack racing sort of situations, like here at Michigan, for instance. You're still getting very close runs here, no doubt about that, but you really have to wring the car for all it's worth now, trying to get as much grip as you can out of it, to say nothing of the aero grip that you lose by running in the draft of the car. So it's adding an extra challenge to these guys, it would seem. But it looks like a lot of them are definitely taking it in stride. And as we were talking about before, your heavy hitters tonight, your Robert Malechkas, your Jacob Osters, your Adriano Pineros. Pinero, I should note, is the highest of those guys that started with no qualifying time. He's up to 9th after starting 17th. But these guys are treating it as a insanely high strength of field test session. It's a way for them to get used to the dynamics of the new dynamics of the car.
What Stevie said, and also to add of note, what we're running is the 2023 rules package. We do not have the 2024 rules package yet.
Not yet, no.
Yeah, so these guys still working with an old rule book here, and I think the main thing here, we talked about this before, that with the IndyCar series switching to a new hybrid powertrain system for all their competitors starting at the race in Mid-Ohio next month, that is going to be the time to make the big switch here to the new rules package here. I don't think they're going to waste it.
If you saw Panera Romanzini, I don't know if that's what you were reacting to, but a little bit of fratricide almost in the back there between two Brazilians doing the Brazilian clear very much all over one another, and sliding across the nose with virtually no space to spare.
Virtually none to spare indeed, as Pinero now looking to the low side. As I said before, Pinero is the highest of those drivers that started without a qualifying time. Started 17th, currently up to 9th, and battling it out with Romanzini for 8th.
There it is.
Very close there. Big twitchy moment there for Pinero. Romanzini clears him on the high line. This is a very hard overtaking situation where you got 3 cars in front of you there that are breaking up the tow right now. You got Ponto, Shadid, and Stephen Lee. It's helping him on the straights here as he looks to the high side
So
now.
you got the draft
20.
here. And
Got the
now
draft
this
here,
is
but
in the draft.
him in the corner.
And now this is air wash coming through the corner here. This is all bad air hitting the front wings of Pinero. And like, in fact, look at Romanzini just shoot out like a cannon on the bottom there. Now they're in the draft.
Try to get the run on Ponto, not quite enough there. But Romanzini, like this is the game you got to play so often with these cars, and here as well.
Blinker.
Yeah, Ponto's blinking.
And he might have he might have just been careful. We don't know where he's going to reappear.
Oh yeah, you gotta be insanely careful.
I think he's done. I think he dropped. Oh, there he is. Look at
there he is. He's still connected to the server. The ping is about 241 for him at the moment. That is a high ping at the moment as Pinero dives it down the low side and actually clears Romanzini. Romanzini looking to the low line once again. Can he do it? He's going to have no one to deal with on the low line there. He actually makes it work. But Pinero on the high line. Here comes the toe. There he goes, up into 8th.
We got Mike Rigney in chat here and asking, is that change iRacing or did they on their own, or excuse me, is that change iRacing that they did on their own, or did IndyCar actually change the specs? I don't know. I don't have a question. I mean, it had to be approved somewhere in order for the change to be made, but watching Adriano Pinero, I don't know what you guys think about that, but I don't think it's definitely everything involved with the latest update. That is for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Pits, we got Pits.
Yeah, Taquilla? First one. Yes, the first one.
Taquilla coming on to pit road, one of the first of our takers. This is lap 33. We're just past that point. Stephen Lee and Trace Shadid in this fight. This is for 5th.
Oh. Stephen Lee got loose coming off of turn 2 there. He almost hit the wall. He had to back out of it.
All right, let's watch
saw it on the replay. He actually clipped the wall, I think, coming off of 2. Beautiful save for the 21 there, but he's coming on the pit road. He's taking no chances.
Let's watch him here as he comes off. He's up in the gray anyways. And, he made contact. And
yes,
right across Trace Shadid's nose. Go back a little bit more. Let me find Trace Shadid here and watch his reaction to this.
You know who's coming super strong now? I don't know how I understand the car so fast. Robert Valesca's coming strong.
16th to 9th. Look at King Robert. You called it there. And now he's up to 8th. He's gotten around Pinero.
Leader signal, he's coming in this time by.
Well, and keep in mind, those guys all stopped on lap 9, so they have a little bit more fuel in the tank.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that they're putting in a different fuel map setting and just coasting at the moment. But as you said, Brandon Trost signaling that he will come onto pit road. He's getting it, and he's about to get it. Whoa, down here.
Here comes
210 miles an hour. Oh, did he? He got a penalty for that. He got a penalty. He was speeding on the pit road.
Yeah, you gotta hate when that happens, especially when you've had such a strong day so far. But Clindy on pit road, not a penalty, so he will not get the 40-second hold. But the thing is, Clindy's not going to have a buddy to draft with now. Not to say these two are buddies. Probably far from the case, but it's nice to have an enemy of your enemy as your friend. And,
yeah, exactly.
No friends right now.
Plenty down and away, but Brandon Trost, what a heartbreak for the 13, was the class of the field tonight, and a small error overshooting his pit entry, essentially, coming onto pit road. I saw when he went over the pit speed limit. The speed limit is 55. He was doing 88 miles an hour, and I think the doc said something about when you hit 88, there's some serious... well, I don't want to say it.
Well, for a movie quote, I think we can technically get away with it.
True. But
this maybe hits 88 miles an hour?
Got some serious stuff.
Yeah.
There's stuff.
Yeah.
I have a general question.
Yeah.
In practice, do you practice pits?
Yes, I do.
Entry?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
And I practice restarts as well.
Mark Murphy's going in.
Oh.
Murphy's signaling he's coming in this time.
And we got Campbell on pit road there, and the.
And what an interesting way to communicate he's going in.
Ponto's coming in as well. Murphy's got it down just fine, and so does the 22 of Ponto.
What an interesting way to signal to go into the pits by Mark Murphy.
Go-go juice.
Yeah, stopping for some go-go juice. And speaking of go-go juice, Malechka, ideally he should be saving it, but he's fighting out with Trey Shadid for the current race lead as more cars come off of pit road around them.
Oh, we're about
And
4
Malechka
wide here.
to the lead.
3 wide for sure. Porty trying to get back on the lead lap, I believe. Yeah, that is for Porty. Now we're going 3 wide at the line with Trey Shadid. These guys all trying to get their lap back.
Yes, they are, and Shadid around the high side here. I imagine Shadid's going to be coming in the next few laps or so.
Oh,
working lap 41.
Oh, you saw it too. Got a little tight there. Oh, Clindy, or Tyquilla in the back there doing some evasive action.
Yeah. Unbelievable as everybody's scrambling around them. Malechka now coming onto pit road.
And this is his final stop. So he was hoping for another caution, maybe to get closer, and it's not going to happen.
No, and at this point, you may as well take it on the chin. There's not much you can do here.
Holster behind it with him as well.
Here's your leader now. Here's your leader now. Trey Shadid. Pinero now in second. We got Romanzini in third. Romanzini now I thought he was slowing down. I thought he was coming to pit road. He is coming to pit road. Okay. And he is coming with Trace, and he is coming with Pinero. No, Pinero's staying on the track.
Yeah, Romanzini and Shadid are on pit road here, so it's Pinero and Franzoni now 1 and 2. Masato Shimizu now up to third.
Pinero is the last of, or also one of the cars that did on lap 9. Franzoni is also Shimizu, Morera, and Seb Alexander all pitted on lap 9. So they are, ooh, yeah, I just saw that too.
Yeah, Morera just hit the wall. Morera just hit the wall off of 2.
Oh, dear.
You said Morera hit the wall?
He did. He hit the wall coming off at turn 2. If I'm being honest, kind of a similar way that I did at the Indy 500, though mine was a pretty light tap, and it looks like I got away with mine. Let's see if he can get away with his.
Brian Campbell, 220.5 purple lap. So Pinero's going to have to stop here soon.
Oh, he's in the wall again.
In the wall again. I saw that. Let's get back on him.
Saves it, though, losing positions, obviously. But Alan Morea really struggling with that number 15 machine right now. Can he keep it going?
I wouldn't be surprised if he has damage up on the suspension there.
I wouldn't be either as Pinero comes on to pit road.
Malechka, purple lap, 221.4. And look at him. He just kind of scoots right up into the wall. Bang. That was a pretty decent hit. Yep.
Magnets in the wall in turn 2. They can catch you right there. As Murphy and Malechka now fighting it out for right now 9th on the track here, but with everyone coming on the pit road, this is definitely subject to change. Malechka will definitely be moving up from where he started, even if he had 1 extra pit stop compared to everybody else.
Hey, just want to thank everyone for joining us. Don't forget, we do these broadcasts on behalf of the IndyCar community for free. So if you have not done so already, please donate to our GoFundMe program. Our GoFundMe campaign link is in the description. Now more than ever, really could use your donations as we are getting ready to kind of forge into a new future. So please donate if you can. On that note, also, once again, a reminder. This is for 2 weeks from now. The Iowa race that we normally would broadcast in this spot will be moving to ERN. Same group, same graphics, just about everything. It's just it'll be on ERN. All the instructions that you need to know in order to follow us there are in the description. So just follow those and it'll get you there to their Discord and to their channel so you can subscribe and not miss out on that Iowa race. But that's in 2 weeks. So this week we'll be on Race First. Next week we will be on Race First. And then 2 weeks from now we will be starting on ERN for the remainder of the season.
And look at Malechka. 2 over 1 right there, getting by both for Porty and Clemworth. For Porty trying to get a run on the high line once again as everyone's cycling through 3 wide now. Look at Clendy through the middle.
Nice, boys. Nice job.
What a drive there. Kyle Clemworth taking the fight to the king of IndyCar for the moment, Robert Malechka III. King Richard III, we keep saying. We all know Richard Petty was King Richard I. Here's one of his successors, no doubt.
In the virtual world, of course.
In the virtual world, naturally. And for Porty, again, trying to make that run work on the high side here. And look at Clemworth again, a repeat of last time. A bit more successful this time as he cuts down
that he gave dirty air to Robert. He's like, flash this. He gives him dirty air. Oh, this is getting very chippy at the front. Meanwhile, up front, Seb Alexander is one of the last cars that pitted at lap 9 along with Alan Moreira, and Seb is just rolling and rolling and rolling. He's right there in the draft, right behind Peter Kavutski, and he's just cruising right now. Can he make it another 10 laps? He has gone 41 on this stint. I don't think he can. It would be quite the savings if he does. Alan Moreira, same thing. He's been, I would imagine he might have damage. It's going to probably add drag to his car and not allow him to get that far. He should probably come to pit road, and I think he is right here. And so is Seb. So, yeah, I didn't think they had a little extra 10-gallon tank in there. So that's going to turn the lead over to this battle up front. And guess who's the lead? LGN, call it.
Just lost Bruno Romazzini.
Yes, I think about Bruno Romazzini, why he's lost.
Also, I should note we actually have 2 drivers with penalties. Seb Alexander got a penalty, and Rodrigo Franzoni also got penalties, both for speeding on pit road.
Oh no, Bruno Franzoni is coming to the pits, and he looked down, slides, and that's it.
Oh, so he slid into the wall. Okay.
Yeah, and the pit wall.
Ooh! Murph almost giving greetings to the second turn wall there. Here comes Oster.
Yeah, I think that turn 2 wall's gotten a bit too many greeting cards for its own good tonight.
Well,
it's almost like we're watching Dover with Miles the Monster and the Lady in Black at Darlington.
I think with the amount of kissing that turn 2 wall has been getting, maybe want to take it out to dinner first, but woof.
Get a room, you two.
Pinero just slammed the door shut on Clenworth going into 1. Clenworth had to back out of it, almost lost it.
9 to go, guys. We've gone this far. No, actually had that 1 caution.
Yeah, we had that 1 caution from Mitch David losing it off at turn number 2. But now look at this fight at the front. Ain't this a familiar sight? Robert Malechka and Adriano Pinero fighting it out at the front of IndyCar competition.
Jacob Oster.
Jacob Oster as well. Gotta love it when the familiar faces work their way through the field up to the front here. Kyle Clenworth rapidly making a name for himself in the IndyCar community, up into 4th place here. Another great run so far for our friend Clendy. And for Porty and Mark Murphy, a lot of familiar faces, and what a race they're putting on.
3 wide initially, as it was Robert Malechka, King Robert, as well as Adriano Pinero and Jacob Oster. They are still throwing haymakers. They're going to go 3 wide again as they go off into 1, still 3 wide. And what do you guys say? This is one heck of a battle as Pinero goes back to the lead. Malechka trying to find a chance to build momentum again and try and get past Oster as well as Pinero as they go down towards turn number 3. They're going to split them again 3 wide as they go off into 3 here.
I hope everyone has their popcorn.
Yeah, Malechka on that low side gets the best run of them all. Leading off of a turn number 4, lap 54, starting 55. Pinero boxed in here. Oster trying to get a run up on the high side.
Pinero got loose there as they went off into 1. He had to back out of it, but he saved it. Now he's hitting dirty air again. He's losing that momentum.
Yes, he is. He's falling into the clutches. Oh, some contact there. Clenworth getting a monster run on Jacob Oster and Robert Malechka. He's going to look down to the low side, trying to take this lead. And he will go back up to the point here. Malechka, though, in the draft. Let's see what he can get here. And here comes Jacob Oster, 3 wide once again. And Clenworth on the sideline backs out. And here comes Pinero.
We got 6 cars, and this is ingredients for a 6-car wreck.
Hopefully a 6-car photo finish more than a 6-car wreck, I'd say. But Oster up on that high line. He's got the nose going into 3. Will it be enough to hang on? Malechka's got the preferred line in clean air, and not quite enough for Oster to hang on at the moment. He will get the toe, though.
We'll watch from Mark Murphy's point of view in the in-car, just how the jockeying is going to happen. We're going to go 4 wide, boys. Oh, my goodness.
Pinero with the send of the century, but he's going to watch up in front of Robert Malechka as they come off at turn number 2 here.
Pinero leaving nothing to chance at the moment. Here comes Malechka, looking down to the low side once more. These are the go laps for certain. We're coming to 3 to go at Michigan. And this is when everybody's saying, you know what? I'm going to win this race right now.
It's anybody's race right now to win. They're side by side, 2 rows deep between first, second, third, and fourth.
It's almost
line.
It's almost like Pinero, who we really he had a rough last season. I mean, he did not finish in the top 10. It's like Pinero saw what Robert did over the season at Indianapolis and just has seen a whole bunch of motivation now. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to bring the battle this year. But Clindy to the lead here as we're coming to 2 to go.
Yeah, Pinero, I think, took it as a challenge. He's taking it personal. Look at Malechka. Squeezing. Amazing. Doesn't lose the car. It's so easy to do that down there.
Well, Clindy wasn't going to let him up.
No, he was not, and Malechka nearly got the wall at the end of the day here. Malechka now trying to break the toe. Look at Mark Murphy now, trying to stick his nose on the inside. Not quite enough at the moment.
Wonder if Mark's been hanging out back there, cooling off his tires.
White flag in the air. 2 miles to go at Michigan.
Murphy thought about it initially, but he did the smart thing and backed off and said, this is probably going to be chaos.
Malechka with the weave. He's trying to throw Pinero out of the draft, and Clemworth's trying to follow through. Pinero looking to get it. This is his money shot. This is the shot he's got. Malechka diving high, diving low. Can he hold him off? He's going to have that low line to work with. Malechka, Pinero off the corner. Can Pinero get the run he needs? There's a bit of a kick. Can he go for it? Look at the outside. It's Malechka.
Very close.
Malechka, high side wins.
0.2926.
0.026 at the stripe. Robert Malechka over Adriano Pinero. That's the kind of finish we expect to see at Michigan, and what a start to a new season.
0.26. But the more things change, the more things stay the same.
We said in Spanish this.
Guys, we also had one heck of a bad wreck.
Trying to see.
It was Oster.
Oster was in it. There was a wreck coming. Was a wreck coming to the checkers? I wonder.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. So it was Oster makes contact with Clendy and goes. Oh, that was a brutal hit into the wall. Basically speared the pit wall entrance there.
Let's see if I can
that was a horrific wreck. But Jacob Oster, naturally you can reset here in the sim world. That would have been a hard one in reality. And unfortunately for Jacob Oster, it means he will finish 18th, back where he started, ironically. But Robert Malechka from 16th to the win, Pinero from 17th to second. Not a bad run by either of them, and what a good way to finish off your test session, shall I say.
Well, let's watch that incident there. Watch this finish one more time. Not sure how far I went back, so I might have gone back a couple laps. We'll see.
That's probably one of the hardest hits I've seen in Michigan in God, who knows how long.
We'll try to fast forward here and see if we can't.
Contact between Clendy and Oster as they came to the checkered flag off of 4.
It's the next lap.
Getting reports he is okay, but what he's saying, do not go anywhere near the car, especially the interior, because of a certain smell.
There it is. Oh my gosh. That, you know what? That was right on the attenuator. You could not have hit the attenuator any more flush. Do I have a pit in? I think I do. Oh, yes, I do. I don't have a good shot of that one. We'll try to zoom back out here.
Look like the said accident Bransoni Hub got in the for pit entry.
Yeah. Watch it one more time in slow motion, then we'll get to the booth. That is, you can't hit the attenuator any more square than that. If that was a real hit, yeah, that would have been. Well, it would have put definitely the safety at these cars. I would have said compromised at that point. Oh wow. All right. So let's. I want to queue up some replays, and then we'll get into the interview room and get Clindy up here first. And let's start the interview process. So let's get Clindy here. Just 1 second. And let's do tower. There we go. Let's give him a tight tower shot, and then we'll follow. There we go. All right. And let's get to the booth. Because I know we're going to have a happy Kyle Clinsworth. Well, it's about darn time to have you up here. I know I talk to you all the time. I don't think the last time you were on the podium, you didn't know about this. So you missed an interview. So now's your chance. Kyle Clinsworth,
That's
P3.
not true. I podiumed at Gateway.
P3 here in the opener at Michigan. Talk about that last lap.
Yeah, so I kind of want to rewind. I'll go 2 laps back. Rob made a really bold move on the apron. If he had not cleared me, I was not letting him up.
I didn't think you were. I didn't think you were.
Imagine.
When we went into turn 1, I was pinched low by Adriano, and I had to undo all my weight jacker, shift to 4th. And I really want to thank Jacob and Adriano for Porty for giving me room. They really could have crossed me up, put me in the wall, killed me, whatever you want to say. But they all gave me the space they're required to continue racing. And I really appreciate that you see that from our competitors in this series week in and week out. So I put myself in the best position I felt like to get a good run at the line. I probably overdrove turn 3 on the white flag lap just a little bit, but I was thinking to myself, the gloves are off, Rob passed me below the apron. I'm going to go wherever they aren't, and I'm going to win this thing. But Jacob was just fighting for the same little piece of draft I was. I thought he was going to follow Pinheiro's draft, and I got to follow Rob's, but we were both fighting for Rob's, I guess. And when we made the contact, I had to counter steer, otherwise I was turning left, and I wanted to finish. So I'm really shook up that put him in a position like it did. I don't want to race like that, but it's a last lap racing deal in my mind. I can't afford to give more space in situations like that, because every time I do, I end up where Jacob was, and I want to finish on the podium and not 18th.
Understood. Well, a great start to the season. I'm happy to see you here. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anything that you like to say, go right ahead. And then
first and foremost, I want to thank Brandon Trost for speeding on pit road, because if he hadn't, we probably would have won by 3 seconds. So thanks, buddy. But other than that, I got to thank my wife. I've got her Instagram channel on the side of my car. It's Julia's Kitchen TW. Go follow her. She makes great, amazing fusion food. She is going to be uploading from our new kitchen very soon. It's going to be amazing. She's got just about 50,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow.
So if she can get a little extra
Very
push,
nice.
She'll be able to retire full time and just do Instagig, which is
So
pretty
she's
cool.
a chef?
I'm sorry, Luis, go ahead.
Is a chef her?
she's a chef?
Yeah, chef. She cooks, yes. But she's also a professional musician. She's the most amazing person I know. But I would be remiss, Gary, and I'm sorry I'm taking a long time here. But today is the 13th anniversary of my father's death, and I miss him every day. This is the first year since he passed that I wasn't able to go to his headstone, and just kind of talk with him, just because I'm so far away.
Yeah.
I miss him a lot, but I miss my wife. I miss all my family in Illinois. And being in Michigan, it's very special for me. The week after he passed, we went there and unfortunately watched Denny Hamlin win the NASCAR race. But this track on this week meant a lot to me. And being on the podium is, a little bit of the universe saying this is where you need to be.
That's okay. My one and only race at Michigan was a NASCAR race, and Kurt Busch won. So I know what it's like to have a stinker of a winner when you make your first race there. So, but I totally understand about the parents thing, and right there with you. Sorry to hear that, but I hope he's looking down and is proud on the effort today. Congratulations. I know I'm proud of you, and we will catch you at the next one, sir.
Thank you so much for the broadcast, guys. I'll see you later.
No problem. And he just jumps out himself. Let's bring up Robert. The new nickname's King Robert III. I think it's more appropriate than what I've seen as the King of Indianapolis. There might be some other people, other more famous celebrities here that might take offense to that, but I think King Robert III is definitely very appropriate. As I was telling the guys, as more things change, the more things stay the same. Once again, you lead off the season as you did last season with a win, and it's a home game, of course.
Yep. Yeah, a bit biased on my end for the schedule, I'll be honest. Love starting off the season at Michigan. Obviously, probably my best track on here. Credit to Adriano and Kyle for making it close there, but at Michigan, it's incredibly tough to beat me. Yeah, honestly, I was just kind of hanging out with Jacob there for the first 30 laps or so, hanging out, just chatting, and I'm like, there's 25 to go, time to go. So we both went to the front, both had absolutely no practice on this setup before we registered with about 3 months ago.
How'd the car feel to you? How'd the car feel to you? We've heard reports of it felt floaty, not right. The force feedback was off. How'd it feel to you?
Yeah, so I guess the force feedback, I'll touch on that first, that's just the iRacing update, so it sounds like everyone just has to double their force feedback, and it's relatively similar. Setup-wise, when you take the new version of Michigan and put it on the old scan, which I believe is what happened, obviously it's going to be a bit different, just this scan has so many more bumps, and I believe a little bit less grip.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're definitely sliding around a bit there, but honestly, in my opinion, it's kind of a nice change of pace for these 2-mile tracks where usually it's a pretty good pack race, right? But it seems like today you kind of had comers and goers. If you manage your tires well, you were able to kind of make gains at the end. You saw guys getting loose off of turn 2, which you don't really see often.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the wind was very tricky today. It was kind of a crosswind right to left, I believe, on the front stretch, and so off of turn 2, it's really pushing in the left rear there, and it was catching a few guys out. I almost caught myself out a few times because you don't really expect it, but yeah, all in all, I mean, honestly, it's a solid combo. It's nice running these legacy tracks, especially to kind of gain where what updates have happened and see if they're better or worse or the same. Seems like it's relatively similar, maybe a little bit less grip, but nonetheless, it was pretty fun out there.
What's next for? Go ahead. Go ahead, Justin.
I was gonna, from one iRacing IndyCar Series competitor to another, King Robert, I shall officially start calling you now because of what you've managed to pull off during the month of May, as well as the first half of June. From one competitor to another, are you ready for the return of 850 horsepower with the hybrid units?
Honestly, no. The horsepower sounds nice, but I'm more worried about the weight.
It's going to change the center of gravity, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The hybrid's going to give us way more weight than what we're used to, right? So,
and it's going to be lower and further back will be the center of gravity, because right now it's higher and further up, right?
Yeah. I'm worried about a lack of rotation in general. Having to be way more guts for the setup, and even though it's already the setup, or this car's already very hard to set up as it is, and I'm a bit worried that it's gonna put us in a bit more of a narrow window. But I guess we'll find out, right? I don't really know what we'll get. It will be pretty realistic or not. I mean, it sounds like even in real life they don't really know what to expect. So I guess we'll be learning as they do.
Well, and it doesn't part of that also will possibly include Aeroscreen 2.0 at some point in the future will also change the center of gravity in the car.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, in real life, that's all they're talking about is, man, at least at St. Pete, the new Aeroscreen, like just a little bit of less weight, it just made this car very enjoyable on road, it sounds. Which, I mean, this car is already in a great spot on road on iRacing, so obviously if
that I will agree with.
That'd be great. But yeah, it's just what will this hybrid bring to us? How's it going to work? How's it going to work on ovals? Yeah, I guess a ton of question marks going into the next few months for so far.
Now, in terms of the rotation, it'll still be somewhat tough, but it'll still be better than what our stock car counterparts have to deal with.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I would think so, right? I mean, you guys can drive off a bit more of the right rear, which is a bit more fun. While if we drive off the right rear, we basically die instantly. But yeah, I guess we'll see how this update goes.
What's next for Robert? I keep hearing rumors of stuff in the community happening around. Anything that you could say, or just wait and see?
Mostly wait and see. I mean, we got VCO starting up in a few weeks, which we have a ton of really good road guys hopping this car for the first time in a long time. And then you got the community regulars showing up, so I think we'll be a bit caught out on the road side maybe, but hopefully on the oval side we'll kick their ass.
Well, shout outs real quick, friends, families, sponsors, go ahead, you name it. Starting off another season with a win here.
Yeah, good win. Thanks for everyone for showing up. Of course, thank you guys for continuously doing these broadcasts. I mean, at least from my end, it's been very successful. Good to see you guys helping out and kind of taking time out of your day to do this. Yeah, that's really it. I guess. Oh, thank you to Powerslide for Indy. And you went pretty good for us.
Yeah, upset the establishment.
2 days, we'll take it.
All right.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
Upset the establishment that was Team I5G.
Yeah, really.
Well, congratulations, sir. And yeah, we'll be making a move here in a couple of weeks, which I told you about. Yep. And but as long as everyone keeps up with that, I don't anticipate anything changing. And that includes more Robert Malechka wins here at some of these tracks coming up on the schedule. We'll catch you later, man.
Yep, thank you guys. Take care.
Yep. Real quick, we only watched the replay. We haven't really gone over the final standings yet.
No, we have not.
So let's go ahead really quick and bring in the final standings here. And Robert Malechka with the win, led 9 laps, and they were all right there at the end. Pinero, he led 3. Those guys all did that 2-stopper by making that extra stop in the at lap 9. They both improved. Each one of them improved 15 spots. I'm just tell you a little bit about those guys. I mean, you expect to see them at the front, and they appeared at the front. Clindy finished 1 spot better, led 16 laps, finished 3rd there for 44th. Mark Murphy finished 5th. Trace Shadid in 6th. Brian Campbell, good run for him in 7th. Matthew Ponto in the Emerson throwback in 8th. Stephen Lee 9th. And Masato Shimizu with a great run, too. I believe he started shotgun on the field, did he not? He 13 spots improved. So cracking the top 10 there for our Japanese friend. Moving on, Kabutski 11th, Sousa 12th. Morera 13th with just a wicked ill-handling car. Jake Johansson 14th, Jacob Collins 15th, Ty Quilla came up to the front and then kind of went to the back. Not sure what happened. I'm sure he wants to kind of audit this one out, but he's 16th. Simcoe 17th. Oster with that wicked wreck there at the end, 18th. Franzoni 19th. Seb Alexander speeding on pit road, unfortunately, relegated him to 20th. Trost also in the same boat there, 21st. Romanzini spinning coming on the pit road, 22nd, and Mitch David with a ill-handling car in the first stint there ended his day early and finished in 23rd. Roundtable, guys. Final thoughts before we move on to our next race.
Let's just say we saw a typical Michigan race with penalties that decided to come out of nowhere, as is tradition, because it's hard to get from 200 plus miles an hour down to 55 miles an hour.
Right.
But as the old saying goes, it's with the bumpy Michigan, it's the same with California. It's bound to happen. But I was very thoroughly entertained. And of course, this basically gives me something to whet my appetite before I get to have fun this weekend with the 6 hours at the Glen, hopefully with my broadcasting buddy here, Stephen Larkamp, work schedule dependent.
Yeah, and it is kind of questionable at the moment, but I'll definitely try to finagle my way around it. But on the whole, yeah, go ahead.
And to finish it off, but before I get to do that, there's going to be a bit of a quote-unquote honoring session as the NIS heads back to Iowa Speedway, which we will be at in next month's time, I should say, for those of us in the iRacing IndyCar series. So I get to go and say hi to some former fellow competitors of mine at Iowa before I get to go and have some fun for 6 hours and then get ready for Laguna Seca next week. That should be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, and honestly, it's another great way to start the season here. It's a change to the car that people may not have been expecting. They have to work their way around, but it still gave us a great show overall. And if the drivers are quick to adapt, like I know they usually can be here in the higher echelons of IndyCar competition, I think this is going to be a really good season once again. And as you said here, with some drivers gaining new motivation after the month of May, these guys are getting into fighting shape here. I think we're going to have a fun time, and both here and in like pretty much any other series in iRacing now. New season always gets people excited.
Hope springs eternal. LGN, your thoughts?
Well, we are back to business again after May, so that's a good thing. Robert again did like a Robert did, like I do every time. And
True.
Yeah, that's true. So it's a good SOF because this is the main one. Doesn't yesterday, today was, so that's a good thing. And very enjoyed the race today. So really surprised how these guys go the back. Sunday in the morning, just heel on the back, and then boom on the front. I don't know how, but they did it. So good race. Next one should be Las Vegas, I think.
Las Vegas, lost wages,
Yeah.
yes.
And that one, all I have to do is just drive up I-15.
That's a home game for you. Well, I think I did the math, and I could be wrong. Unless the calculations given to me from the sim are wrong, today's average was 218.017. That's with one caution for 3 laps.
Wow, good stuff.
And that means that means most of the time they were racing above 220.
And I will say this, since you guys are coming here to Vegas, y'all better hydrate because it's hot. It is hot right now.
All right, one more time. Do you want to mention this before we get on out of here? And we got all our Twitter profile handles here on the screen. Go ahead, add us. We would welcome that. But again, one more time, donate. Again, because we're getting ready to split off, and your donations are going to be more now than ever. So please do that. The broadcast fund link to our GoFundMe is in the subscription or in the description. And then also all the instructions you need to know about 2 Tuesdays from now. ERN, the Elite Racing Network. They will be hosting the remainder of the IndyCar Oval Series with us as the broadcasters, with us as the commentary. So sound doesn't change, graphics don't change really. It's just a new place. And so you'll want to join that Discord in order to be part of post-race interviews and you want to subscribe to their channel in order to watch the race and get the notifications of when the next races are posted. So again, that's the ERN. All of the directions that you need in order to get into their channel and to subscribe and to get to their Discord are all in the description. If anybody has any questions, feel free to email me or DM me on our Discord server at RaceFirst. I'll be happy to answer those questions. So once again, your podium, as we'll get on out of here for tonight, is Robert Valesco with the win. Adriano didn't leave a comment yet, but normally he does. If he does, we'll bring everybody up to speed of what he said next week. But he finishes second, kind of like the old days. And Kyle Clindy, great podium for our good pal. Join us again next week for round 2 of the IndyCar Oval Series, Tuesday night top split of season 3 of 24 as we head to Las Vegas. Remember, our coverage, as always, begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern. That's 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And it's if you have problems, you can't find the right time in your area, just go to the YouTube channel here at Race First. Click on the notification button, click on the bell, and then you'll get notified of any time changes, any changes to this race whatsoever. You will find out about it. Hey, we love bringing these races to you. They're not easy. Easy, require time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you IndyCar Oval Action nearly sponsor-free. If you share a passion for the sport of IndyCar, which we know you do, and you enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2024 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution will be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching. Make us part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. That's going to do it, guys. So for Stephen Larkham, Justin Petschauer, the infamous LGN, everyone here, I'm Gary Gatto saying all good night. Thanks for watching. To all of our men and women serving in the military and those first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again next week right here at Las Vegas for the next race of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split. Good night.